I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do here, but we're going to do something. This is a disaster and a half. And I've actually got all these palettes that are stacked in the front of this dresser here. We're all up there. And so I need to take everything down, reorganize it, and get rid of the stacks. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and along the way I'm going to open up all the palettes for you guys, because in my collection video that I did in December, that was one that was highly requested. You guys wanted to see inside the palette. So it's going to be like my top shelf, and I'm going to open up all the palettes. I mean, I've got lots more palettes than that, but those are the kind of the ones I keep on that top shelf. So these are all the ones that I just took off the dresser. These are all of my Pat McGrath palettes that are in the hard black packaging. So we have got the, of course there's no name on this one, but this is one of her quads. These came out around, I believe, the holidays. Right here. This is probably one of my faves. The larger ones, right here. This one actually has a name on it. This is the Mothership 6 right there. This one is one of my favorite palettes that I have. This is Divine Rose. Then we have got the Mothership Subliminal, the Mothership 2 Sublime. This one is Mothership 3 Subversive. And this one here, what is this one called again? This was a popular one. This one doesn't have a name on it, and I didn't write it on here, but it's this one. And then the last one right here is this is the bronze, Mothership 5, right there. So those are all the Pat McGrath in the hard casing. I've got these two, you can see through the casing, so I don't need to open them, but these two Makeup Geek, she relaunched her shadows, and I bought these. This one is the Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette right there. And then we've got a bunch of Vizier mini shadows that I put in this magnetic palette here. So you've got, like, they're in the little 8s like that. So there's 6 different 8-pan mini palettes in there. And then these are my large Adept Cosmetic palettes that have got several Vizier eyeshadows in there. And these are in kind of palette form too. These are the 6 pans over here, so in 6s. And then over here, these ones are in the 12 pan. So you got Warm Matte, Neutral Matte, Cool Matte, and the Bright Matte over there. And that's what I have in the black Adept. And then I've got this blush palette one as well that has got the Grand Pro 1, 3, 2, and then 2 more quads. This is Koi, and I think this one is the Deep Mattes over here. Those are all from Vizier right there. Got this little Tarte palette, the NARS and Sarah Moon, which is all Baked Gelée. I love this palette. The Enduring Love palette from Sydney Grace. MAC singles that are kind of Baked Gelée. Those two are like pressed kind of glitter shades, but those are from MAC. And then these are the new reformulated Makeup Forever eyeshadows right there. The Too Faced Natural Nudes Born This Way eyeshadow palette. Natasha Denona Love palette. And then the Tarte Spicy Betch, B-E-T-C-H. A melt stack with all of my melt shadows. I can't find what I did with the tops to these other ones because I put them in that large palette. And because of the formation of that palette, I didn't reach for these as much, so I pulled them out to be like this. And I wanted to separate them, but I can't find what I did with these tops right there. So there's, I think, 4 different versions of the stack there. And then here are the melt palettes. I've got, oh no, these are all of them, I think. So we've got Radioactive, Millennial Pink, 27, the Vida palette right here. The Muerte palette. Smoke Sessions. The newest is the 420. The Rust palette. I love that one. The Gemini. Love this one as well. Mine looks like heck. Oh, plastic that came from somewhere. And then the Impulsive right there. Those are all from Melt. And we've got a ColourPop magnetic palette that has the Menagerie trifoils in it. And then here are my Menagerie palettes. This is the Courtship. The Violet Ink. The newest one, which is the Pastel Pup. I love that thing. It's so pretty. The Feral palette. Then we have Whale Song and Killer Purr right there. So those are all from Menagerie Cosmetics. Then the last stack that I had on the dresser is the Kylie Cosmetics Stormy eyeshadow palette. This was a pre-made type of bundle one, and I added a shade to it, so there's no like name for it. These are the KKW Beauty 5-pan palettes right here. I bought these in a trio. The Lunatic Cosmetics Descendant palette. This is an awesome matte palette. These are all mattes with different variations of nude shades. Super awesome pairing palette there. Lawless, the one. And then a magnetic palette that has got Give Me Glow single eyeshadows in there. And then a magnetic palette that has all my NARS in Extra Dimension. No, they're not in Extra Dimension. Dual Intensity is what NARS calls their Big Jelly formula. Not in Extra Dimension. That's what those are. And then this is a little NARS single right here, and 2 Dior shadows that I depotted in there. I'm going to have to move. I'm going to take down all the palettes that are on top of the big pink toolbox where I have my top shelf shadow palettes. This ought to be fun. I'm going to slowly take them down and show them to you guys. The Boss Babe Buxom Dolly eyeshadow palette. Boss Babe Betty Buxom eyeshadow palette. And their newest Buxom Extrovert palette, which I wasn't crazy about. The By Terry Terribly Paris eyeshadow palette. And then this is an Adept Cosmetics magnetic eyeshadow palette with all their, well, not all of them, but quite a few of their single magnetic eyeshadows that go in there. Right there. The Vizier Spritz Edit eyeshadow palette, the Dark Edit eyeshadow palette. I'm surprised I didn't put those in a magnetic palette yet. The Warm Edit palette. I love this palette from Jouer. It's the Ultra Foil palette. Awesome shades in there. This one is awesome as well. The Jouer Skinny Dip palette. This is a Buxom one that I think I picked the shade. No, this was a pre-made one. It's the Neutral Instincts eyeshadow palette. I live for this gold green color right here. It's so, so pretty. I'll even swatch it. It's so stunning. I don't really have a color kind of like that in my collection, but that's from Buxom. The Urban Decay Wired eyeshadow palette. The Tarte BU eyeshadow palette. This is really nice. Little palette here. The Artist Couture Supreme Nudes. The NARS Afterglow. The Nudes of New York from Maybelline. That's an awesome drugstore palette. NARS Cool Crush eyeshadow palette. I should stop saying eyeshadow palette. These are all eyeshadows. Nabla Wild Berry. The Metropolitan from Nabla. The Aether Beauty Joshua Tree right here. I just got this during the Sephora sale. MAC and Selena eyeshadow palette. I'm saying it again. This is the Jouer Metamorphosis Face and Eye palette. So this one's got some face in there, but I really like this palette. Cute butterflies on there. And this one is the Tarte Busy Gal Golds. Right there. These ones are all Too Faced. The Shake Your Pom Poms Hot Buttered Rum, the Tickled Peach, and the quality of these little guys is really nice too. Sugar Cookie. Then we've got the Raspberry and the Pineapple, followed by the Natural Eyes and the Natural Matte, the Palm Springs Dream, which smells like, kind of like coconutty. Then there's the Just Peachy Mattes, which smells like peach. They're peach kind of fragrance. The White Peach palette. And then the Erica Jane Pretty Mess eyeshadow palette. To be honest, I don't know how I actually fit all of these palettes on the top, but Gingerbread Extra Spicy, the Gingerbread Spice, the Clover, cutest packaging award goes to, right? The White Chocolate Bar, the Sweet Peach, the Chocolate Gold, the Chocolate Bar Semi-Sweet. I really liked this one compared to the original, but Chocolate Bonbon. And then the original chocolate bar right here that doesn't have the names printed on the inside. And I didn't keep there must have been a plastic overlay, but the newer ones are thinner packaging and they have the names on there. Then we've got the Too Faced Life's a Festival. I love some of the shades in there. Unicorn. And then the 20th anniversary one right here, which is a monster of a palette. I've got a half of a Too Faced palette here. This is the eyeshadow half. I've got the face half with my face palettes. Jeffree Star Mini Controversy palette and Mini Jawbreaker palette. And then I've got 5 of these Urban Decay On the Runs. This is the Detour, the Bailout, the, what's this one called? Shortcut. The Highway Queen. I haven't used these last 2 yet. And the G-Train from Urban Decay. And then I've got 4 of these Charlotte Tilbury palettes. This one is the Pillow Talk Instant Eye Palette. Oh, right there. Then we've got the Instant Eye Palette. This is the original, the first kind of bigger one that she did. And then the, what's this one called? Stars in Your Eyes. And then the holiday one right here called Starry Eyes to Hypnotize. Ah! These plastic pieces. The Charlotte Tilbury The Icon palette. Oh! The Kevin Aqua Nude Pop. Gosh, these guys are hard to open. Interesting fact, these have the exact same packaging and they're both made in Italy, so I'm pretty sure they came from the same factory. The Jeffree Star Thirsty palette. Little fact, this is one of my favorite palettes. Summer palettes, anytime palettes. I love this palette a lot, and I don't think they make it anymore, but that's the Jeffree Star Thirsty palette. The Conspiracy palette, also from Jeffree Star. The Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette. And then the Blood Sugar palette. I gotta dust all of this stuff off too. Jeffree Star Jawbreaker palette. Some of those colors are so fun. I really like his formula. I didn't care for the very first palette that he came out with. And I kind of would like to purchase it again to see if he's got his newer formula back in the original palette, but I haven't done it yet. Sephora Pro Pigment Warm palette. This was one of my favorites from this Sephora line. I use this a lot. This one is the Sephora Pro New Nudes. The Smoky Jewels. I love that they're printing the names on there now instead of doing it on the sheet. Pro Pigment Editorial 2.0. And then the Editorial, the original one. This one's got a plastic in it. Right there. And those are all the Sephora Pro palettes. I thought I grabbed all the Sephora Pro, but this one is the Cool Pro Pigment palette right here. Oh, these are heavy. Oh my gosh. These palettes are so heavy. My brother teased me and said that if I put any more like storage for makeup in this room that I was going to fall through the floor into the basement. I kind of believe him, so I'm not going to add any more storage. But this is an Adept Cosmetics magnetic palette as well. These are all ColourPop single eyeshadows in this guy. And these are Lisa Frank stickers because why not? And then we have got, these next three are large Colored Rain eyeshadow palettes. This was the collab they did with Power. And these are all Colored Rain eyeshadows. I absolutely adore Colored Rain. Their eyeshadow formula is awesome. And then another Colored Rain with Lisa Frank stickers on it. And this one has got all Makeup Forever eyeshadows. They're older formula. And then the bottom ones right here, those are Sugar Pill, those really bright ones. And those are all matte eyeshadows right there. And then this last one, again with Lisa Frank stickers. These are all older Makeup Geek eyeshadows. I loved their foiled formula. Their original shadows are nice too, but I really used these foiled a lot. I had to move because I'm running out of space over there in the kind of the corner. This is the Becca, what is it? Pearl Glow Shimmering Eye Palette. Right here. Interesting shades. The Tarte Young Wild and Cruelty Free. These were very nice eyeshadows in there. Ooh. The Give Me Glow Quad Goals, which came out kind of around the holiday season. The Christmas Morning, also from Give Me Glow. And then, whoa, the Bobbi Brown Luxe Gems eyeshadow palette. These are a baked gelée formula. This next batch are all the Natasha Denona mini palettes. This is the Mini Gold, the Mini Retro, the Mini Tropic, Mini Nude, Mini Star. I haven't even touched that one. Mini Glam, the Mini Lila, and the Mini Sunset. And then these next ones are the larger 5 pans. So just a comparison there. This one is the Holiday 01 Joya palette. I loved these holiday ones. Love this one. A lot of people love this one. This is the Camel palette. The palette number 4. That's just what this one's called. Palette number 4. I think I might have got this in a Beautylish Lucky Bag or something. I can't remember. Then we've got the Coral palette. The Cranberry palette. And the Holiday number 2 Heiress palette. And then these guys are old school. I did a video on Natasha Denona long before they kind of made it to retailers in the States, and that's where I got this one right here. This is the 02 palette 5. So these are in the really old kind of packaging. And then this one is palette number 9. I think I did a swap with somebody for this guy. But these shades are in her larger palettes. Moving on to kind of her larger palettes. The Sunrise palette. The Metropolis palette. The Lila palette. Lila. I have an auntie named Lila. The Gold palette. the Sunset palette, the Safari palette, the Biba palette. Poppy is just like, just chilling over there. The Tropic palette. And this one, I can't remember the name of this one. It's the 10 pan, one of the very first ones that she did. And then the Star palette. I love this. I still love this palette. The Star palette. And then the original palettes here. This is the Purple Blue, I think it's called. And the Green Gold, Green Brown palette, I think is what the official name is. There's like no, you know, sticker or anything on there to show there. But this one is brand new looking because I got this in a Beautylish Lucky Bag. I know I did, so I had 2 of them because I originally purchased this palette. So this one has remained untouched since I got rid of the first one that I had. But these are all from Dose of Colors. This is the Baked Browns, the Snow Angels, Blushing Berries, Sassy Siennas, Marvelous Mauves, and Pretty Cool. This is a good one. These are all really nice eyeshadows. They're quite dusty because it's a soft formula, but they blend really nice. Then I've got this Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, which are all little shimmer shades. It's the Pillow Talk Luxury Palette of Pops. Some of these are going to end up in the drawers, but Charlotte Tilbury's Instant Look in a Palette, Gorgeous Glowing Beauty. Instant Look in a Palette. This one is the 5 Minute Face Seductive Beauty. I kind of stopped getting some of these because they just look so similar, but this one's Natural Beauty. The Kevin Aqua Jewel Pop Face and Eye Palette. And these, I love these 2 NARS palettes. This is the Hot Nights. I keep these readily available because I use them pretty often. So that's the Hot Nights and the Summer Nights. These are just awesome. And then these are all Buxom 6 pans. This one is the White Russian right here. I like what they did with these, but I still wish that I could like take these out by the pan and put them in a large palette all together. This one is this is a customizable one. They came out with new singles, and I bought all the new singles and put them in there. This one is a holiday one. Look All You Want. Poppy's trying to get in on the action here. This is another one that I custom did. This one is the Dolly's Wild Side. These are like the original ones that came out right here. The May Contain Nudity. This is a great one. These Buxom shadows are really nice. The Pastel Persuasion. This one's okay. When I compare this to like Pastel Pup, there's no comparison in there, but still decent enough. Here's another Buxom. This one is the Suede Seduction, which is an all matte Buxom palette. And then we've got a Chantecaille Polar Ice palette. I love this. Such pretty shades in here. Right there. 2 Ilia eyeshadow palettes. This one is the Warm Nude, and then the Cool Nude Poppy. Oh my gosh, Poppy. And that's the Cool Nude. Those are from Ilia. This random kind of Pat McGrath palette that came out in a little like kit thing. Something I didn't need, but I've got all the Pat McGrath palettes, so one of those deals. Then I've got these Norwegian Mini Pro Pigments. We've got the 3, the 1, and the 2. This is the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess Azure eyeshadow palette from summer of this year. And then this was the summer last year palette called Bronze Goddess Desert Heat. Right here. I really like this one a lot. The newest one is nice too, but I loved last year's. The Divine Skies from M Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. Now we're getting into a bunch of KKW and Kylie Cosmetics. This is the KKW Wedding Mrs. West eyeshadow palette. I'm going to stop saying eyeshadow palette. Smoky Volume 1, KKW. Blitz and Glam, KKW. Kylie. This was a summer one. Doesn't have a name. Came out with a summer collection. The Coco and Kylie collab. I love this palette. It's really stunning. The I think it's called Blue Honey from Kylie. The Burgundy. And You're So Money Baby, also from Kylie. And then we've got the KKW and Winnie Harlow palette. The Artist and the Muse Mario 2 palette. This one is the Heat, I think, So Fire. KKW Beauty Matte Smoky. Matte Smoke. I get along with her shadow formula really well. Matte Cocoa. This one, I don't know what this one's called. Is there a name on the back? Nope. There's no name on this one. KKW Classic Blossom. KKW and Mario. This is the first one they did together. Kylie Jenner Nice eyeshadow palette. The Sipping Pretty palette. What's this one? There's no name on the back of these ones either. I think this one was called like Bronze, maybe. Peach, maybe. We're just gonna go with that. And then I think Burgundy. And then there's the Kylie Loves Jordan, which I think, I don't follow closely with this type of stuff, but I think they no longer love each other. But I love this palette. Some of the shades in here are just stunning. This is the Urban Decay Party Favor palette. The Party Favor palette. Really like this guy. These look stunning on the lid. The NARS Inferno palette. Colored Rain, Safari Rain. I'm tempted to depot these, but I haven't yet. These are beautiful. I love their shadows. Colored Rain and Power palette. This was Love Luxe Beauty Fantasy palette. These are crazy. I should turn my ISO down. It looks a little bright. Better. I've been moving around the room because I'm taking up the whole floor, but look at that. Crazy, right? So that's from Love Luxe Beauty. Okay, I'll swatch it here. So metallized, right? Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Foil. Pretty shades in there. I enjoyed that one. I still enjoy that one. Give Me Glow Juicy Olive. The Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice. And her Galaxy. I really liked the Galaxy palette too. I know not a lot of people like that, but packed over a really tacky primer, some of those shades just really sparkle beautiful. The Autumn Rain from Sydney Grace. The Grunge palette from Give Me Glow. The Vintage Rose palette, also from Give Me Glow. The Summer Vibes palette from Give Me Glow, which I think they're redoing the packaging on this and coming out with that again soon. The Staple palette from Give Me Glow. And then the 3 Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina collection palettes. So this one is the 3rd one. I really like these, you guys. I come up with some super fun looks with these palettes because they're so random, you know, so it kind of gets your wheels turning for what kind of looks to do. This is the number 2 and the number 1 right there. Then we've got the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette. I use this and use this and use this. I love this palette. Then there's the Cheers to the Beauty palette. I actually purchased this palette and then I got it sent in PR as well, so I depotted that one and put it in the magnetic palette. And this one hasn't kind of been touched just yet, but this random guy here, the Alien palette from Jeffree Star. I love some of these shades in here, are so pretty. Crazy packaging. Then this whole stack is Pat McGrath. These are those little fellas that they came out with. I Ecstasy Sublime eyeshadow palette. I said it again. Subversive. This is the little IXC Subversive right here. These are both great quality, but they're like shades that are in her other palettes. The Mothership eyeshadow palette. Says Pat McGrath Labs. Is there a name for this? Galactic Gold. There we go. I much prefer this like style packaging in her little 6 pans compared to the ones with the opening. This one is the Dark Galaxy. This one is the Golden Opulence. I don't even bother to close mine. The Bronze Temptation. This one is Dark Star. This one is called Metamorphosis. Platinum Bronze. These are the very first 3 she did like this. Those are beautiful, right? Bronze Ambition. And then the last one of the Pat McGrath is the Levian Rose. And then down here in the corner, these are all Vizier palettes. So I'm going to start with the oldest that I have and go to the newest. And these palettes, the Pat McGrath and the Vizier, are like closest in reach to me on top of the toolbox. But this one is Eyeshadow Basic 02. These, look at, this is old school packaging right here. Then we've got the number 3. Waffle, don't do that to the carpet. They don't even have these anymore, but this was the original, I think, like number 4 kind of brighter mattes kind of deal. Paris Nude 06. Number 3, which one is this one? It doesn't say on the back. I should know. I don't remember. This one is Sultry Muse 05. Followed by, this is the Bright Mattes right here. And the Boheme Dream number 2. Stunning colors in that guy. It is so windy outside. Dark Mattes 04. I attempted, you guys, I broke this a bit. I attempted to depot these. It didn't go well. So I stopped. The glue on these is not to be messed with, apparently. Number 9, Bijou Royale. Number 10, Warm Mattes. The 07 Cool Mattes. This one here, I've actually used this on my brows today. This is their brow and eyeshadow palette. I mostly use it for just brows. Those are waxes. Those are kind of brow shades. And then one of the Neutral Mattes 01s in their newest packaging that's magnetic, so you can take them out. And then lastly here, the Vizier Golden Hour. The Tryst. The Libertine. I love that the colors of the kind of tin on the front are all tinted different. Liaison. Love this one as well. Love all these. And then we've got the Rose Edit. And the Paris Edit. Right there. So, well, let's show you guys what this looks like at a little bit more zoomed out area as I get off the floor. Oh, and my bones are creaking, man. Okay, so those are all the palettes that at one point in time, I know I had some stacked on the dresser, you know, up there, but I removed them because I was scared they were gonna like fall, right? So I'm going to organize and put the majority of these back up there. These palettes right here are going to go into some of the drawers or other shelves other than the top shelf. And then these palettes right here have little homes. Like I keep the Aether Beauty ones up there and the Nabla, so I'll put those away, and my little Charlotte Tilbury quad can go in the door. And then I moved a bunch of larger palettes, lighten it up here, down here, because they're like really, really big. And I can still see them pretty good down there, but I just put them down there so I had more room up top. This is the finished product for the top right here. I stand right over here when I do my makeup. There's Phoebe's. So I've got like Vizier and Pat McGrath and kind of my indie brands, the KKW, Kylie, ABH, and then it goes on this way to Jeffree Star and Natasha Denona. Those are all the palettes that are now on the top shelf, and then I put my melt stack thing over there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen. Stay safe out there, and I will see you guys later. Bye.